Here we are again, 16:53, 24 seconds, Sunday, 2020, the October month, 4th day. And we got these clowns on. And fucking big ass torque wrench, 9 pounds. I just fucking experimented with this bolt and these bolts right here on this side because there's more light, more space. And when I torqued these three down to about 9 pounds, I looked, and this right down here, the side down there, I'll get you a light on that. The side of that right there was not flush. It was fucking crooked at the bottom with a gap. Which is exactly what happened when I took all the bolts off this sucker. And I looked down there and I saw a gap, and I said to myself, what the fuck? Has that gap been there all this fucking time? This motor's got 328,000 miles on it. And that fucking rocker arm fucker's been on their fucking crooked. And all them bolts were fucking tight. I can only wonder. But maybe it's bent. Maybe this thing's bent. And when I, too much tension in it or whatever. And when I undid the bolts, then the tension came out with a gap. Who knows? I can only wonder. Anyway, so when I torqued them down, I got a good feel for what 9 pounds is. And then when I used the 10 millimeter wrench, where's the wrench here? 10 millimeter wrench, here it is. The 10 millimeter wrench right here. And I snugged it, and I could tell it just hits. You can tell it gets in there, and then it hits. And you don't want to go any further, and that's around 9 pounds. So I just went up to about 10 pounds. I put just a little extra on it. All of the bolts, I did both sides. I made sure there's no gaps. Made sure them fucking rocker things were flush down there. Hey, we have a camera light on this thing. I have to figure out how to use the camera light while we got dark spots. Anyway, so they're all torqued on there. Clean the oil and shit off there. But we'll keep it short. All I gotta do is put these covers back on. I just use the old gaskets. They're still good, even though they got 100,000 miles on it. I know how to get things accomplished like that. And we'll put it back together, start her up, and I might just do a little quick run around here with the torque wrench. I got the fucking nut right there, and just put it on there and turn the motor, and before I start something and bend the fuck out of something, who knows? I'll just see if it turns. Anyway, I turned the motor on this to make sure that all these were loose. They're all tight now. Look at that. They're all fucking tight. Wow. These are all tight. Okay, they must loosen up when I loosen the fucker up. But when I was loosening all these bolts to get this thing off, I had to turn. The wheel, that's right, because this back one wasn't moving. This back one wasn't moving at all. These ones were all free. So I turned the motor till this one was free, because I couldn't get this whole fucking assembly off. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? Are these bolts right here, this one and that one? Are those screwed into the head? And I was just thinking, that's when I found the gap. And that's when I put a screwdriver in the back of it and kind of pried it, and then things kind of jimmied loose. And then I noticed it had nodules here. They call those dowel pins. So it says be careful of the dowel pins, not to gouge the dowel pins right here, see? Be careful not to gouge the dowel pins. I thought the dowel pin was crooked or something, but I just ended up putting it on there, and I just bolted it a little bit at a time, making sure that this side was flushed up first, and then this side I screwed it in tight, and then everything started to flush. Anyway, that's that. I keep these vids short because Fucking internet, fucking. Anyway, later.